Are you looking for a podcast with swirls of graham cracker sand?
Well, then you must be thinking of another podcast.
Whoa! Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you today?
I'm so tired and
So
sad.
tired. Why?
I mean, it's been a week for reasons that I won't get into on this YMBToAP, but
Yeah,
in the very near future,
it's just been a week. Would you like to crack into it then?
I would like to crack into it. I
Weeks all
have
around.
La Croix.
Dr. Pepper.
So
Here we
sweet.
go. Let's do it. Ooh. Okay.
No overflow, no fizz all over my fingers.
Dr. Pepper is to be savored, man. I don't know if you saw that, but I straight up like,
Varied the flavors.
oh yeah, the 23 of them, man.
I wonder how much La Croix I could chug at once. Like, you see those videos of those people drinking a whole Sprite and then just like they
Oh, just yeah,
in demonhood. Yes.
yeah.
I wonder how much La Croix I could just like
Okay,
drink until it hurt. You know?
I have a question.
What's your question?
When you drink something,
Mm-hmm.
do you just like pour in, simply swallow it? Do you like swish it around a little bit? Like,
See,
how do you drink something?
I'm super glad you asked because I think about the way I drink things and I don't think it's a normal experience. So I'm going to tell you how I drink something and you're going to tell me if it's normal or not.
Okay.
I want to see if you do the same thing. Okay, let me get a sip so I can figure out how I'm going to talk about this process.
Yep.
Okay.
Our mouths move very similarly.
I hope you do the same thing. So, like, I get the liquid in the mouth.
Yep.
And then you expand the tongue to fill up the space behind the teeth.
Okay.
The liquid comes to the front of the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then you swallow.
Yeah, it's kind of like a swoosh for me. It's like
you like swish it through the teeth.
Yeah, I kind of like. I guess it is a tongue thing. It's not really swooshing, just like, like.
Yeah, not like mouth washing it.
Like,
Not
yeah.
with it.
But yeah, so yeah, my tongue kind of just like pushes it, pulls it down, and then you just like you kind of wash it over the tongue, but it goes through the teeth, and you swallow it.
Is there a biological reason we do that, or is that just?
So I think I do it with Dr. Pepper more because it's like you're kind of getting the carbonation out, so you're not just like swallowing full-on carbonation.
Huh.
That's kind of been my thought because like I'm gonna drink water now.
I'm gonna drink water too.
But
everyone else get a sip, huh?
But I did the same thing, but not to the same extent.
I tried to do it without doing it, and I got a lot of air. So I think maybe that's why.
I think it's an air thing. It's to like get rid of that excess air before you swallow it.
I just did something different, actually. I don't know how to describe that one. Hold on.
Now, I will say there's no time for that at 3 a.m. when you got your bed water and you're just, and you just like, you gulp it.
Just chugging. Okay, so when I'm drinking regular water, the tongue goes back, closes off the throat.
Okay.
And the water sits up here, behind the teeth still.
See, maybe I think I might do it weird because of I remember learning way back in school about your taste buds.
Mm.
And how like the front was the sweet.
Yeah.
Then the middle was like a different palate, and then the back was like the sour ones.
All the way at the back is bitter. I think sweet on the tip, salt in the center, and then sour on the sides.
So, yeah, because I remember getting sour things and like run it on the side of my tongue.
I'm so happy that we're the same brand of. Weird.
I would put things on different parts of the tongue. Go, it does taste a little different there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'll let Dr. Pepper wash over the whole tongue and try to like feel the different flavors like all over.
Like a formal taster. I did a science project in 5th grade that went all the way to the science project fair, like like the state level, and I won a blue
Okay.
ribbon, and it was on taste buds.
See,
It was on like mapping of the tongue, and I wanted to test, do people actually taste more in the different areas? So I literally took Q-tips and I dunked them in like pickle juice for sour.
That's legit.
And I did
Okay.
bitter and then sugar water. I did coffee for bitter, sugar water, and then salt water, I guess. And then I
Okay.
just like dabbed my friends' tongues in different places. I was like, what flavor is that one? And they would get them wrong if it was in the wrong area.
That's fucking cool.
I want to enact this as an adult.
That's great. See?
I want to
Okay.
do this again.
I literally think about how I drink this most times that I'm drinking it. And then I go like, do people look at me like, do people go like, why is he swishing Dr.
Are people
Pepper?
judging me?
Yeah.
Just gotta aerate.
I feel like it's an aeration thing. And then sometimes it's just to let it sit on your tongue and, taste it in different ways.
Mellow out.
Because I will say, Dr. Pepper tastes best back of the tongue.
All right.
That's where it tastes good, man. Oh, it tastes great there.
You've done those like weird berries that like make your taste buds
No,
reversed.
I've never had those.
Those are fun. We should do those at some point and then just have like a
Yeah, that'd be
smorgasbord.
fun.
Yeah, that would be a
Okay.
good time. I would like to do that.
I could eat a pickle and not hate it.
Yeah. Maybe I could eat olives. I shudder
I
at
don't
the
know,
thought. Ugh.
I don't
I
like
don't want to do that.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what a good side discussion. But I wanted to bring this to you, something we talked about last time. I don't know
Okay.
if we talked about it last time, but it was in a Friday roundup like a week or two ago.
yes, it is.
But I was hoping to see more movies in this time frame. But I
Okay.
only got to see one, but I did see The Wild Robot.
I'm so
And
stoked.
yes, I cried. Actually, more than I thought I would.
Really?
I was kind of mad at this movie
Mad.
because it didn't earn a reason to be sad,
Oh.
but like you're just crying. I mean, you're crying when it starts. You don't know the robot yet. You don't know fucking anything, and you're just like, this poor fucking robot. Like somehow it makes you feel all this shit like you were here already.
Okay.
And that made me mad. I was like, you didn't even trick me into caring yet. I just do.
I just this robot.
I care already. And fuck that movie. Way not how I saw it going down. I did not think that's how they would get me. But boy, they got us, man.
Okay.
That's a good movie.
See, I really want
Okay.
to see it, but I started telling Richard about it, and when I was telling him the plot, I started crying, and he was like, "I'm not taking you to see that one."
Oh, it's so good, man.
Like,
Okay.
'cause she falls off the truck and she meets animals.
Man, okay. I kind of wish it had stayed a bit more Wall-E for a little longer, because I mean you're like, okay, well it's a robot, but then there's these animals. She's not gonna understand them.
Yeah.
I mean, they fixed that in about 10 seconds.
Did she just like download all the speech information or whatever?
No, how they did it's kind of fucking cool.
How'd they do it?
Okay. So anyway, it literally opens with the storm that knocks her to the fucking island, and it's just her waking up in like a fucking haze, just like, oh, I'm active. Hi, who ordered me? That's a big fucking wave. And then she's like just getting like hammered against the wall, like you're just like, oh my god, why?
Lupita Nyong'o say that. That's a big fucking wave.
But it was so funny because she's just like looking around, and there's a crab walking up the wall, so she's like, oh, okay, and then just like climbs up the wall too. Like she just
Cute.
watches people and knows what to do, and she keeps going because you never saw Big Hero 6,
Right.
but she's basically like Baymax, where it's like, how can I help you? Like, I need a task. Are you good? You seem stressed. Here's a solution,
Yeah.
So she's just solving problems for nobody because there's no one there to give her the task, right? And so she, I forgot what they call them, but these robots like never fail a task. They're like Meeseeks from
Oh yeah, from
whatever it is.
the Pickle Rick show.
Yeah. Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah. They're like Meeseeks. She is given a task and she cannot stop until that task is complete.
Okay.
right? Even if she really wants to, the task has to be completed as fast as she can, if she can, right? But just let me do the task and then I'll move on. So she wrecks there. There's all the animals. Nothing's really going on. And she's all like, you seem to be speaking a different language. I'll fix that. And she just like sits down and it starts like doing like a time lapse. And you see animals come by and like sniff, but it's like really fast, right? And then you'll
Yeah.
see them and you'll see like a text bubble that you can't make out what it is. And then like this one becomes a T and then this one will become an H. And then eventually you get like
Oh,
half a word.
like
Then you get more
chances
and
in
more.
R. Oh, that's so cool.
And then like finally one animal comes up and you can read the whole text bubble,
That's
right?
awesome.
So like she literally pieces together their language. She doesn't just download shit. She listens and works it out.
That's nuts, man.
It
I like
was
that.
cool. And it's the whole movie thing, show don't tell. She
Yeah.
didn't say like I'm going to learn your language and now I'm learning it. Like you watch it through the text bubble because there's not text bubbles in the fucking movie, but
Right.
in that scene there are that you can tell. Okay, she knows half of that word, none of the rest of this, and you can just visually see. Oh yeah, she's really starting to piece it together.
That's so cool.
Oh, such a good movie. The backgrounds are legit just paintings.
I love that.
Every background's just a fucking painting.
Cool.
And then they are a bit more like traditional 3D look and stuff.
Okay.
And it gels very well. The vibe is great.
Like
It's
a
a good
nice
vibe.
blending of animation and
It's very
3D.
good. So she learns that and she's trying to help people. And like she pisses off. Oh yeah, she gets chased by a bear. There's this one bear that's just fucking mean. And so it's chasing her. Man, you're not ready, man. Sorry, I am gonna go spoilers for Wild Robot. It's just
Okay.
fucking legit, and you can see it. It's still good, regardless of knowing what's going on. She's getting chased by the bear in a storm, and she slips and falls, and she falls off this cliff and lands on this cliff face, crushing the mama duck.
No.
There's just a wing poking out from under her, and she's like, "Oh no!"
Oh my god.
Like crushes every egg but one, but like she legit falls on the fucking mom.
Oh my god.
This movie gives no shits about a child's feelings. They boil a crab alive at one point, and it just goes, "Ow!" It screams for help. There's a scene later where they're looking for people in a blizzard, right? And
Okay.
so like you'll see her like dig open the snow and then like her lights come in and you'll see them all like shivering and like they're about to die, but like she saves them. And then there's
Okay.
one where like it's like a really wide shot and you see her like go like this and she just goes, "Mm-mm." And then she just puts the snow back on. And so
Oh
like
my
know,
god.
but you don't see it, right? But like it still is there.
Yeah, I
Like the
can't see this
content
one.
is there, right? Oh, so good. I was like, man, this movie is just laying it out. There it is.
This is
Right?
gonna be the next like brave little toaster for kids that are just gonna be like
Yeah.
traumatized and not know why.
It's man, I would have loved this movie as a kid, I think. So she falls on the fucking mom and she like picks up the egg and she's like, I'm just gonna put it here. And then this fox comes by. It's the fox you see in all the trailers, and that's Pedro Pascal, which I didn't
Fuck
know.
yeah.
I was like, I know this guy's voice, and I'm real bad at that. I was like, I know him, but like he doesn't live in me fully. Like he's not like
Yeah.
a voice actor guy.
Whenever I can recognize voice actors by like connecting them to other characters, but like
Yeah.
you, I can't pick out an actor unless it's like
Yeah,
Robin Williams or somebody really
Like-
obvious, you know?
like your favorite person. That
yeah.
You just, like I bet if David Bowie said a line, you'd go like, I know who that is,
yeah.
regardless. But like you know him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know Pedro Pascal that way. But so he's the fox, and he was going to eat the egg. And so she like chases him around and saves him because he gets hit by a porcupine. And it's so like real.
Oh my
He
God.
like falls on it and he's all like screaming and crying. And then it slaps him again. And so he's just like all these sad animal noises. I was like, good God,
This movie sounds
intense.
yeah.
Yeah, so she just picks him up and just goes and takes all the stuff out and goes, task complete, sticker on his forehead and leaves. And then she has the egg and it starts to hatch, so it starts to break open, and so she's trying to like close all the pieces and he gets
Oh.
loose. And man, that was good too. I love a good show don't tell. It shows us the duck's vision. It's all blurry, and then like the robot comes into focus, and then like this light shines off of her because it's that's my imprinted mommy, right?
Oh.
And so she's like, "Oh, well, you seem okay. Here you go. Bye." And then she leaves, and he keeps following her around, almost dying a billion times. And then he gets right in her neck, and then like will snuggle in against this like hose that is her neck. It's very
Oh.
cute. And so the fox is like, "You're like really bad at this, huh?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "You like killed his only means for survival, so you kind of have to take care of him."
Yeah.
Oh, and she meets a fucking possum mom. So
Aw.
everything on the island is scared of her. She's the monster.
Yeah, she's around fucking crushing duck eggs and
Yeah.
shit.
Like nobody knows what she is, why she's there, so they all call her a monster, right?
Okay.
And she meets this possum mom with like 6 kids. And so like she shows up and she's like, "All right, play dead." So they all like play dead. And then this one goes, "What are you?" And she goes, "That's why we're going to die now, because you don't listen when I tell you how to play dead. And now you've shown your hand and we're going to get murdered. Thanks,
Oh,
kid." That's what she legit says to this child
that's
in the
crazy.
movie. And then she's all like, "I'm not going to kill anyone. I'm just a cool robot." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Are you taking care of that duck?" Because she's like a mom. So she's like, "You're not doing a very good job at that. Like, you have to, like feed him and stuff and kind of watch him. Like, he's about to die." And so, like, she saves him from something. And all the kids are like playing with the little duckling. So she's all like, "What do you mean I have to take care of it?" And she's like, "Well, being a mom's hard. There's really no playbook." And it's the whole mom speech of like, "We all just kind of wing it, don't we?"
Yeah.
And then you hear this like eagle, like off camera, do something. And then she goes, "Yep, it's just me and my 6 kids. Woo! Me and my 5 kids." No emotion. She's like, "Yeah,
Oh my
just
god.
me and my 5 kids." Well, anyway, you have a good day now. Thanks for not killing me. And then like all the kids get on, and then that 6th kid goes, "I hid under a rock." And she's like, "Oh, great. You're back." Like that's how it happened.
Oh my god.
So she's been given a task, which is to take care of the duck.
Okay.
And the fox is like, "Well, you're going to have to feed it, teach it to swim, and it's going to have to learn to fly." So she feeds him and gets a check mark, and she goes, "Cool. Now you got to teach it to swim." And he's like, "I'll do it the way my mom taught me. Swim!" And he just like throws the duck out there. So she has to save him. And so that becomes a long running thing. And she's like, "How long will it take to do this task?" And he's like, "Probably a year." And she's like, "That's a long time. But okay, I guess." Because she keeps trying to do this like beacon to go home. She's like, "I don't belong here. No one can give me a task. So I should go back to home base."
Yeah.
Every time she tries to do the beacon thing, like a raccoon steals the beacon or like something happens. And so she's like, "Well, I'll activate this after this task. But now I have to wait a year. That's stupid." And she names him Bright Bill. And then he grows up and he's a really weird fucking duck because
Bright Bill is a great name for a baby duck.
it's a great name. And he's so stupid. He fucking walks around and he's like, "I hope I'm gonna make some friends this year." And he like walks up the ducks and goes, "Bzz, bzz, bzz," analyzing for friends. And he talks like her. It's so stupid.
God.
And all the ducks are mean to him. So she's like taking care of him. And it turns out he's a runt. So this like other duck from like the real duck clan or whatever, he's like he never should have lived. Like you kind of created a problem because like
Well.
he's not going to be able to survive on his own, really. But like if you can get him to learn to fly before we do the migration, I like you and I'll make sure that he's taken care of.
Okay.
So she's like, "Okay, I got to fucking teach this guy to fly like now." And so she builds like a runway, and they do this whole montage of him learning to fly, and he's a cool little duck, man. He's giving it his best. He's so small. And they agree to let him go, and he flies off, and it's really sad. He flies away, and you get the final check mark, and she's like, "The task is complete." But now she loves him,
Yeah.
She's getting all these emotions that she's not supposed to have.
So she has emotions, like she can experience those.
Oh, she's definitely learning things that she's not supposed to know.
Good.
But she like doesn't admit those things, and then the whole movie becomes about saying the thing you need to tell people before they're gone.
Oh, fuck.
Because he goes to fly away, and like he has to go now. Remember, he can't survive on his own. These ducks will take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
They're migrating now. They're flying away, and he's all like, "Okay, I gotta go. Will you be back, or like, will you be here when I get back next year?" And she goes, "No." And he's like, "Okay." And they're like, "We gotta go, kid!" And it's like real rushed, and you just don't get that moment. And then he flies away.
Sad.
And then she goes to leave, but then she like runs to the cliff edge and like hangs off and like watches him and shit. And then that cool older duck is like, "Come here," and so he lets him fly by, and so she can see him one more time, and then they fly away.
That's sweet.
And then Taylor's fucking crying.
Yeah, I would have been a mess.
They have to go land somewhere, and they land. It's almost like Earth is ruined.
Oh.
And there's like set places where people thrive.
Interesting.
And so they land in like a gardening section where they like grow all the food for humans, and it's run by all those robot types, right?
Okay.
And they don't harm things, but they apprehend things that shouldn't be there. And so when they land, he's like, "Oh my God, Roz, like it's you," but it's not you. And then they start trying to like capture all the ducks. And then the bad robots come out that are authorized to kill the ducks. So it's a whole fucking fight sequence now.
God.
And then the old one's like, "Kid, you know what these things are about and how to get away from them, so you're in charge. And I'll make sure that you get away." And of course they kill the old duck.
Ted.
He like fights a dude with a gun. He's tough, dude. He's fucking this robot up, and then you don't see it happen. But later they come home and he's not with them anymore. Roz was going to leave while they had migrated, and she chooses not to do her beacon, and she waits for him the year or whatever.
Oh my God.
And like builds a home for her and the fox dude. All this shit's been going on, and that's
So
when the winter thing happens.
Hangs out like he's just a friend.
That's sad too, because he's like, basically, he never had a family. His parents like
got crushed by a big robot.
He was like a runt, so they threw him away.
Oh my God.
And so like when he's treated nice by her, he's like, "This is like the closest thing I've had to a family." Like I think she hugs him at some point, and he like cries a little bit. It's a wild movie, dude.
Yeah, fuck this movie.
So she's gonna leave, and he's like, "Oh, it sucked, dude. Pedro Pascal's a bitch. Hate him." That vocal performance killed me. She's like, "Well, he flew away. I'm gonna leave." And he's like, "What do you mean you're gonna leave?" And she's like, "I'm gonna activate my beacon and go home. I have no purpose here." And he's like, "But if you leave, then you won't be here. And what if I need to see you? And what if I have something I want to tell you, and you're not here for me to tell anymore?" And he's just like crying, and she's like, "Okay, I'll stay."
God.
So like she builds a home, and like the wood burning art type stuff. She was doing that for a while the duck was growing up, and that's like his height on the door type stuff. So she like draws how big he is, and she draws like her and the fox, and there's like this whole home. And the winter's so bad that like animals are dying. They're like freezing out there. So she corrals all of them into that home. And there's no sunlight. She gets her power from solar power. So she's like dying, saving all of them. And she like collapses in the house.
No.
And they all start trying to kill each other because it's predators and prey all in the same roof, right?
What is happening in the room where they made this movie?
So the fox is like, "Shut the fuck up. She saved your asses. You'd all be frozen dead popsicles outside if it weren't for her. So how about you treat her with some respect and be good in here?" And so she's like actively kind of dying, but like she just has to like power down.
Okay.
She's like, "Before I power down, protect them, is all she says to the fox, and then fades. So now he has to be in charge, and he gives the little speech, and the big bear that fucking was so mean to her, he goes, I won't eat anyone in here. And then he just like hugs them all and like goes to sleep. And then everyone's like, well, if he's going to be good, then we'll be good.
All right.
And they live through the winter just fine. And then like they leave. Bright Bill comes back. Things are good. And then she finds the rest of the robots that got stranded on the island as well.
Oh, there's more?
But they're like severely damaged. None of them work.
No. Oh.
But she turns one on and it's all like, hey, do I have a task? And she's like, your task is to tell me what my purpose was, because I'm kind of lost on what the plot is. I've been here for a while. And then the robot's like, ooh, your programming's wrong. You know things you shouldn't know. Take my beacon and go home. I'm going to die now. And then he just like powers off and dies. It's such a nuts movie. So then she does do the beacon. Bright Bill comes home. She had done the beacon at some point, and then like winter happened, and then they lost the signal, but they've been searching for her all this time.
Oh man.
They find her, and then they set fucking fire to the forest or killing all the animals.
Why?
And she's like, I'll go with you. I'll just go, and then you can leave him alone. And they're like, okay, cool. Come with us. So they pull her on the ship, and then Bright Bill's like, I waited all winter to talk to you. I just wanted to say, I'm glad you stayed. Like, I wanted to tell you things, and I didn't, and now you're leaving again. And she's like, I gotta go, or else you'll all die. Put the fire out, please. And she gets on the ship, and then the robot that took her in is like, we have to erase your memories because you are way fucked up.
No.
We have to delete everything.
No.
So they plug her in and start fucking deleting her. Like, she's just actively being deleted.
Why?
And the duck was like, I want to go see my mom. And he crashes through the front of the ship, like crashes through the glass, breaks his wing. So he's just like hobbling through the ship.
What?
Finds her like lifeless husk in this room and gives this impassioned speech that he wanted to give her the whole time. And he's like, I waited all winter and I just wanted to say, I love you, Mom. You're the reason I'm alive, and I treated you bad because I didn't know my place, but like I do know my place, and I only have it because of you. So, love you. And then like gets in her neck and goes to sleep.
Fuck
like he used
right
to
off.
do.
I hate this movie.
And then she goes and like comes to life.
The
right?
power of love.
And she goes, I remember you. We're all good. She's like, because you don't live in here. Where does he live, Kelsey? You live in here. So then they break out of the ship, and that one robot's pissed about it. So now they're putting out the fire. That robot's chasing her down again, and she, before she leaves, just like turns on a magnet and crushes that robot to death. And then the robot just goes, we'll never stop coming for you, and then like dies.
Very chill.
Yeah, so they jump at the ship. It explodes somewhere. They put out the fire. And then she goes, I have to call them because they will keep coming back and they will kill all of you and wind up taking me at some point. So if I just leave on my own, you'll be safe. But I love you too, kid. And then she calls them. She does the beacon and she leaves. And then it cuts to like the next year. They're getting ready for winter. They're all going to live in the house again.
Oh.
And he's like the leader of all the ducks. So he's all like, okay, we're going to make a pit stop like we normally do. And he goes to the place where they're farming all the food. And he sneaks in alone. And the end of the movie is him like, because she goes, they can delete me all they want, but you're not in these files. You're in these files.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, he like sneaks in and it's given some speech about how like love always prevails and blah, blah, blah. And like he like sneaks around this one corner and he's like, Roz, Mom? And she like looks down, picks him up, and then they touch foreheads and then it ended.
I'm really glad I didn't see this one.
It's a pretty good movie, man. I wasn't as sold on it when I came in, and now that I'm telling it, I'm like, that movie fucking roll, dude.
Yeah, I would have been irreparable in the theater. So
Yeah. Oh, Taylor was having a real rough time. Oh, dude, when he was all like, "I'm finally gonna tell you stuff now that you're dead," I was like, "Fuck, dude." When he curled up in her neck again, that's when
yeah,
I lost. I was like, "Fuck."
I don't like that.
Like, that's a pretty legit movie. But then all the time, like,
Like actually crying.
dude, when he broke his wing crashing through the ship, I was like, "This is like a real movie."
Yeah, talk about stakes. Jesus,
Yeah,
kill
nobody
half the
gets
animals in the
hurt
forest.
in movies. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
never a lasting consequence. And
right.
no, he's able to fly by the end, but like if I careen through the windshield of a car, I shouldn't be a-okay. Something should probably be hurt.
Yeah.
Even if it's not life threatening to later in life. In that moment, I should be messed up somehow. So that was legit.
All right.
It's a good movie, man.
That's fucked up.
I recommend it
I'm
to
glad you saw
everybody.
it so that the hot journalism lies there and not with me.
Yeah, super good.
Moving on to a completely different topic. What do you know about this notebook LM?
I have no idea what that is. Is
Okay,
that a program or a hardware?
it's a program. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the new thing from Google. I sent you a TikTok on it, so I know you've seen it, but maybe you don't know the name of it. So what
Okay.
it is, it's like a system by which you can take all your notes from a class, like if you've typed up notes or something, or if you
Oh,
have a
yeah. Okay.
PDF of a textbook, you can upload it to this program and it just takes all your content and crunches it down and makes a little podcast out of it.
I do remember watching that one, and yeah, I didn't remember it being called that, but I watched that dude do the kidney one, right?
Yeah.
And it explained it like two people talking, and I was like, that's very coherent.
It's very coherent and it makes me feel threatened. Like I don't think they're good enough to be entertainment podcasts yet or comedy podcasts, but
Yeah.
uh, it's so genuinely weird. Like I love this ability that we have because I would have loved that in college to be able to like upload all
Oh,
my
yeah.
free notes and have it like delivered to me in an audio file, like two friends talking about it. I would have digested that way easier than like staying up until 4
Oh,
a.m.
yeah.
at the fucking IHOP just crying into a textbook.
Yeah.
Uh, I just, it's so different now how the kids of today are learning and all the tools that they have that we didn't, which makes it both easier to learn and easier to produce schoolwork that
That's my
isn't
thing.
yours.
While I think they're able to get answers so they can hear that, but are they really retaining?
Yeah.
Are they learning it? Or is it
What?
just like, because I just had this conversation with somebody how schools teach you to memorize, but they don't teach you
Yes.
to learn.
Yes, that's how I felt in school because I've never been able to like pick through something and retain the knowledge because of I think how we were raised on
Yeah.
the TOS test, the TAX test, which is just the Texas Standardized Education, where it says like you
Yeah.
need to know that like this person wrote this book and it's about this theme or this plus this equals that. Like there are
Yeah.
benchmarks you have to hit. And if you're not taking your benchmark test and hitting the numbers you're supposed to, like you're going to get held back. So it was always a crunch of like, this is what's going to be
Yeah.
on the benchmark. This is what you need to study. So that's
I thought I came up with a pretty good question. I'm going to ask it to you, and I want to see what you answer me with.
okay.
It was about learning and that kind of stuff, right? So if I were to ask you, what is the point of learning history? What would you tell me?
Well, the age old adage that we are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah. But what people really learn in school are dates.
Yeah, Magna Carta,
History,
1792. Like,
yeah.
what
History
does
is
that?
not about dates. History is about learning from your mistakes.
Yeah,
And we don't teach you the mistake. We just go 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And
yeah,
now you know that year. You walk away knowing years. You don't walk away knowing consequences and
yeah.
shit like that.
Like, I
You
don't
know?
know anything that the first like 40 presidents did. Like I can't tell you what McKinley's stuff was.
No.
Like I know Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe. Like I know all the presidents.
No more than me for that.
I just don't. It's so weird to me. Like the way that kids have it. Like I don't want to say they have it easy. They have it different. You know, like
Very different.
to be able to take material that is given to you online these days. Like they just give you the textbook online, which is fucking cool. Like I had to go buy those and they cost a lot of money, or you had to rent them from the school. And if you so much as put one pencil mark in them, you weren't getting your money back. But they have the ability now to just like put their stuff into a program and then it just like spits out study material for you. And it's very cool. Like there's groups of kids that are out there that are working on shared Google Docs to make notes, like making an outline of a lecture as they're going. And it's like 100 students are editing it at once. Like that's crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
It's nuts. It's Hive learning at its finest. But at the same token, like I kind of worry.
I think that puts the pressure off of you having to retain at the same time. Because if, let's say it's like a lecture, like you said, and you know, like, okay, well, that dude's really good at notes. I don't really have to pay attention because I'll just see the notes later. But what if he picks up different parts that don't help you remember things? So now his notes, while great, don't really benefit you. You don't learn anything now because everybody learns shit different. Like I don't take notes. I just watch the dude. He says stuff, and then I get an A on the test. I don't read the book. I don't do any of that shit. But other people, they listen to the guy, go, I don't know what the fuck you said. I have to see it. I have to witness the learning. You know what I mean?
I have to write down the notes. I have to highlight them in color code. I have to go through and read them and make flashcards.
Yeah.
And think it and say it over and over again so that I can like get it in my head. I feel like if I were to go back to college today, I would fail out immediately because it's just like so much. Like I've never been one that can retain knowledge. Like you've seen me, I watch a movie and just flush it out of my head. Like it's gone.
Like, but that's the good thing about like online school now. Usually they're like, just participate.
Yeah.
Every day, write a comment on what you thought about this lesson. And you can just be like, well, I thought it was dynamic. And they're like, oh, he's very engaged. And then you get like a good grade for the day, but you didn't even do anything. You just said a comment.
Right. I did that in one of my classes. I remember the Blackboard system that we had to go into.
Okay.
They had a thing where it was like, post your thoughts on the reading. And so I just literally went to the Spark Notes and looked at a couple of sentences, rephrased them, and entered it. And they were like, yeah, good thought. Like I didn't do shit. I literally Googled and that's it. And I know that there's a lot of people out there doing that today. And I don't think it's any different than what I was doing. Like, I'm not saying these kids today are so lazy with their podcasts and all that. Like, I would have been even lazier if it had allowed me. But
like, I love that technology. Like, I loved it when I watched that video. But like you said, what are we going to get from it? Will it actually help people learn? Or will it be a SparkNote tool that we didn't really learn from, but it's helped us get an answer out faster?
And also, what's to stop it from just like, we could get transcripts of our podcast and upload it into this thing and be like, make new YMBToAPs. Then what?
Yeah.
You know?
With the same information though, because it can't, wasn't that the whole point? It can't look at the internet. It can only look at the info you provide it.
That's true. Yeah. So
like, it would be the same YMBToAPs, but in different orders.
Remix.
Yeah.
So
see, it can't ever put us out of business.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. It's just weird. We live in such weird times and it's cool, but I don't like the thing I don't like most about it is the way that the AI talks, because it will have human inflection and it'll take moments and you hear mouth noises in the AI.
I was gonna watch it again because he said that it did the like Those things?
Yes.
And I didn't hear them the first time, so I got to go back.
It just sounds so natural and human. And I listened to another one today because it's all over the internet right now. Like every other TikTok I'm getting is like this thing. And I listened to one and it's like you can hear the AI breathing. Like it'll just put in like a before the start of a sentence.
Okay.
So it's just it sounds so human and so natural. And I remember the first time I saw a deep fake, like
oh yeah,
way early in college, and being like, holy shit, this is about to get so dangerous. And we're there and we just keep going further. It's like we're in the woods surrounded by tigers and the explorers are like, we should turn back. And everyone's just hacking and slashing their way through the jungle. Like, let's go further.
Yeah.
It's so deeply strange and unnerving.
Yeah. I need to check out more. I've only seen that one that you sent me because it hasn't popped up for me.
Across. It's
okay.
It's wild stuff.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to watch those and think about it.
Mull that over while we go to that break.
Let's do that.
Oh, you think you know what happened to me? Look, I'm back, and I'm about to unearth all the secrets in Old Cove. So do a little refresher on Season 1 and get caught up before Season 2 arrives. Trust and believe. You don't want to miss what's coming.
Welcome to Severed, a podcast suite that offers a rotation of content centered around true crime to paranormal cases. Severed True Crime covers high to low profile true crime cases like the Westfield Watcher, The Staircase, The Keepers, and other binge-worthy favorites on Netflix. Severed Paranormal peers into the corner-moon windows of the Amityville Horror House, the Conjuring House, and other mysterious cases, locations, and urban legends.
I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. We want you along for this investigative and haunting roundup. Scare you soon.
Welcome back. You definitely didn't hear Robert slap his microphone.
Nope.
Smack your face on it. If you guys are loving this episode of YMBToAP and you want more, just more YMBToAP, you can get hours and hours, days even, of bonus content by going over to patreon.com/YMBToAP and signing up to be a patron. We love the patrons from the bottom to the top of our heart, all around the corners of the heart, into the back, into the front, side to side. We love them up and down. It is just $2 per month to get into the Discord, and in there you can chat with like-minded folks who just want to talk about anything and everything. We have a whole channel dedicated to anime. We have a whole channel dedicated to music, the latest record releases. We're always looking at different vinyls and stuff. It's a good place. I like it a lot. It's fun. If you want to pay a little bit more, pay $5 a month, you can get the pre-ramble mini episodes. We say mini, but they run like half an hour sometimes. Maybe 45 minutes. We're feeling spicy. It is a ton of content. We've been doing pre-rambles since episode 89. This is episode 279. So if you can do math better than I can, you know how many pre-rambles there are. It's a lot. If you want to pay a little bit extra, you want to be the ultimate fan, you can pay the $10 Zeitgeist tier and you can get all of the previously mentioned good shit and then so much more, because we've got a pretty extensive back catalog at this point. We've been doing them since 2020. So I think we have something like 40 different Zeitgeist reviews now. And you're asking yourself, what's a Zeitgeist review? Well, let me tell you, it is a deep dive media review on a specific topic, a specific piece of media, a movie, a video game, a whole TV show. It's very deep. It is very lots.
Very lots.
Very lots. We've done some really deep dives, like deeper than they needed to be. You know, we prepare PowerPoint slides. We have gifts for you. I think they're fun. It's a good time. We like putting them together, and we like when you guys watch them. So if you are so very interested in that, I would check out the Patreon fees. Patreon fees. I would check out the Patreon feed. It's fun. It's a good time. If you are not into that, but you still want to support YMBToAP, we do have a new website that you can go visit. It's full of stickers that you can buy. You can get yourself a little every Monday truck. He brings the YMBToAP right to you, to your doorstep, dumps it off every single Monday. We love our supporters so very much. Like I said, the bottom and the tops of our hearts. I just want to kiss each of you on the forehead very smoothly. Let's get you back to that regularly scheduled YMBToAP content.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I want to tell you guys, we had a guest appearance on a very cool podcast called Life as a Song. You can check that out in their feed right now, but if you want to wait a little bit, it's going to actually drop in the YMBToAP feed next month. So
yeah, I don't know if you guys will need the date, but if you go look, ours was on September 30th. So a week ago as of hearing this now, but for anyone listening in the future, September 30th is on their feed. But yeah, we're going to have it in ours pretty soon, right?
Yeah, we are. And Robert and I talked about a bunch of different songs that mean something to us throughout our lives. And you'll hear some good stories we've never told on YMBToAP before. So check it out. It's a fun time.
Hell yeah.
They made a playlist for us too. Like it's available in Spotify. We'll have to link that because I want to
I'll have to
playlist.
Find it. It's going to be weird.
It's a very polyjammerous kind of playlist.
Oh, yeah. I do want to update something from last time that we did just like a little quick insert on.
Yes.
I immediately downloaded Dreams and found that PT whatever thing, right?
Excellent. I want to hear all about it.
Okay. I didn't beat it yet.
Oh, really?
No, I just wanted to like try it out and see what was going on. All I can say is, I mean, I booted it up. Like, okay, so here's the thing. You don't download it. Like, you don't get it. So, like, if Dreams were to go away, it would be gone. It's like in their stores. Like, you go to like the page, you go find it, and you click launch. You don't like download it to your system.
Okay.
Because I was like, I should just go hoard it now.
Yeah.
Right? But I couldn't do that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to click it. And it was, I mean, such a slap, man. You like hit launch, you go boop. And I mean, you're no more the buttons pressed and it pops up to that original screen where it's all like a little brain in the corner. And then how do you want to do the options and stuff? And the sound was spot on.
Good.
I mean, it was like, I felt like I was just playing PT.
How do they do that? How did they recreate that? Like, did somebody get? Somebody
probably because like I have that game.
Yeah.
On YouTube, like I have that I had record because there was somebody that I used to work with that I wanted to know about it. And I was dabbling with the whole Elgato recording stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I did a very succinct, very nice, quick 17-minute run through because you know the ending is so fucking hard to trigger and make happen. And I got it in the 17 minutes. I think it's about a 17-minute run.
That is tight.
So it's just like it starts. I walk through. I basically just do what you need to do. No exploration. When we're not like, what's all this on the table?
What's all these things?
It's, I mean, basically just a step by. If you were to watch it, you could just take it as like this is how you get out of this cycle. This is how you get out of this cycle. I don't talk over it, but it's just like I do what you need to do.
That's a solid video. Is that public? Like you should.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
that for the people
out there. I will put that in the thing. I recorded that. Dude, I'm scared to look.
A long time ago, I'm sure. Like when did PT come out? That's
2012.
Oh, that long ago? I was gonna say 2017.
It's been a hot minute. Let me look while I'm chit chatting with you guys. But so the sounds were like spot on, right?
12 years ago. Let's
see. That's in my other account.
Oh, the secret account.
That's just I was gonna do a whole gaming one where like that's where like all the Elgato stuff was gonna be.
Yeah.
And then I put one in there not too long ago, like in 2020 when I got the new card that does the HDR and stuff, and it does record HDR, and you can watch a clip HDR on YouTube. It's phenomenal.
That's nice.
Yeah, I don't really get a lot on this one. I posted the PT playable teaser playthrough 9 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
It is 17 minutes and 18 seconds on the dot.
God damn.
So Yeah, I was trying to like just do like my favorite moments from games that like I want to play a lot, but you got to like
Yeah.
work to get to them, and then I can just go watch it.
Okay.
But it was me, and then one of these is bad because I die in it, and I was like, oh, I ruined
Oh,
it. Got to play it
ruined.
flawless.
Over.
So yeah, there's only 10 videos on there, and the last one was 4 years ago, and it even says test on it still, just to see if it worked.
Nice.
But so I'll link the channel and whatever else in there. But so I did the first like 2 loops, right? But so like it came on. I think it started wrong
Okay.
because there's the cockroaches when you first start it.
Yeah.
There's the 1 cockroach, but once you beat the loop, there's the 2 cockroaches, remember?
Yeah.
It opened with 2, and I was like, that's not right, but that's okay.
That's so funny. That
That's
like
fine.
it's weird the things that like we would pick up on in video games, you know, like you just know that game that intimately that you're like, okay, the first time
I mean-
1 cockroach, second time 2 cockroaches.
I mean, I had that game to a science.
Yeah.
So that if I were to show somebody, I wouldn't bore them. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
you can't just play a game for somebody and expect them to be as enthralled as you are.
Right.
But if you know it well enough that you know how to create that feeling,
Create the experience.
you know, you can wrap them up in it. So I had to know it well enough to go, okay, this rotation's boring. I
Okay.
can talk to them about it in this way while I'm doing the boring room. You know, I had it down, man. I fucking love PT so much.
I think you're literally PT's biggest fan.
I love PT. It was so amazing. And that's what I'm digging about. Now, I do need to finish it. I just kind of started it
Uh-huh.
because I was more listening. And I got creeped out. So I actually was like, you know what? I don't feel up to this at the moment. And I turned it off because I felt like I was playing PT. I really did.
Good.
The photos, there's like a photo of like the people on the desk by the phone, and that's the one you got like gouge the eye out or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That looked right. Everything looked really right. The window was weird. I was like, okay, this is not that game. The doors looked a little different, but like if you closed your eyes and heard someone playing it,
Yeah.
you would think they're playing the real thing.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
I wonder how this game works. Like, how does Dreams work? How do you program a game?
It's like Super Mario Maker, where like they give you all these tools and like assets and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you build the space, and then you can say, okay, you know, walk, or this door needs to like bump at this time. And I'm like, you literally program it, but they give you tools so that you're not doing coding. You're just like dropping in motions and stuff, I think.
That's nuts.
Because like I've watched people do Super Mario Maker shit,
Uh-huh.
and it's so easy, but you still have to have that thought process of like, but how will it play out? Because me and Ferdin used to do that in Plus. Did you ever play that game?
No.
You're like a little ninja, and you have to like collect like little gold pieces to extend your timer.
Okay.
But basically, you have to like touch a button to unlock a door and then get back to the door. That's the end of the gameplay. But maybe in this room, you have to like do a complete circle around the room while rockets are chasing you.
Okay.
Or maybe in this one, all the gold pieces secretly have spikes underneath them. So don't go for gold pieces, but you got to learn by failing, right?
Okay, yeah.
And me and Ferdin would make levels for each other and then see if we could beat each other's shit. And so oh my God, mine was just trial and error. But I created one where you literally had to, in one solid run, you could never stop. You had to follow this whole track, and you could make it out. It's very hard,
I imagine.
but like, if the tools are laid there and you just gotta like place them, it's kind of easy to make the shit. You just gotta really craft it the way you need it, you know?
Yeah, like I made levels in Little Big Planet all the time. And this is from the people that made Little Big Planet. So I have faith that it works. I mean, if you're playing PT like it's real PT, then it must.
It's a little different but it's close enough that I mean, my brain thought I was playing it.
That's cool. So it's a good version of PT for people that didn't get to play PT.
Yeah, dude,
I was
the radio guy, because
Yeah.
like you walk through and it's all like, and then they found that he had murdered his wife, and
Yeah.
then the child was found 2 days. Like that radio. I mean, you hear that shit nonstop when you're playing it.
Yeah.
That was the radio shit. Like that was it. There's
that's
no
like-
way that wasn't it.
That's my question is like, where are they getting the audio and where are they getting the visual files? Like, are they just grabbing it? Or is there a way that they're scraping assets out of old PT files?
You might be able to. Or has somebody on YouTube, let's say, just sat and listened to the radio, and so it's like a quiet video of just the radio, and then they could just download that MP3 and upload it? Like,
Maybe.
could you take my playthrough, grab the footsteps real quick? Okay, those footsteps, now I have that asset. Boom, here's the chandelier swinging. I could
Yeah.
grab the audio from this, but then just keep reusing it.
I'm getting
Did
freaked
they do
out
that?
thinking
you know?
about PT.
I know, and that's why I couldn't finish it. I did 2 loops and was like, I don't want to do this right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in the space for that right now. I got to be in the space for PT,
Yeah.
because you got to do the fucking fridge thing. It's a lot, man.
It's a lot.
I love PT. It's so good.
PT's so good.
But now I want to beat it. Did they recreate the trailer for Silent Hills at the end? I would
bet
love
they
to know
did.
that. Like
It would be
it was solid.
It would be so funny if they recreated it, except like at the end when Daryl turns around to face the camera, it's just like the Little Big Planet sack boy. Like,
That would be hilarious. So it's legit. I would say if you need it and you don't have PT, very solid substitute.
all right, great
I
value
like
PT. I love that. I had a eventful day at CVS because I went and got my shots.
Shot.
Shot. So
Okay.
I actually got 3 shots at once.
Hey.
Yeah, they had me
At
with
once?
well, not at once, but like I went and got my COVID, I got flu, and then I got the Tdap, which it's like tetanus,
that one?
diphtheria, and pertussis.
Yeah.
Whooping cough is going around. So if you're not up on your pertussis
Tdap.
shots,
Okay.
get your Tdap. I had a Tdap back in 2020, but I was like, it doesn't hurt to just get another one. So
I'd have to check.
yeah, I don't think there's any harm in doubling up on your tetanus shots. I'm just like extra protected, I'm like super anti-tetanus.
You said you got the 3, and do you remember the pins that had like red, blue, and black? But I pictured it was that, and they just put all 3 needles at once and just like.
I wish they would have done that. It was
Cool.
I hate it when I go to first shots and the guy was like, okay, 3, 2, 1, and pinch, and like, don't do that. Don't count down. And he did it for every single one. Like, bro, stop it. I don't want that. But it was a pretty easy get. I mean, and I feel like I felt them more because he was like, I'm putting in the needle now, but
Yeah, that's stupid, guy. Don't do that.
Yeah. It didn't feel as spicy as years past. Like, last year's flu shot was just like fucking cayenne pepper going in.
Yep.
This year's flu shot, not like that. But the arms, I was so fucking sore because I had the 2 and then I had the 1. So, and then I had to drive because we were in Texas and we had to go back to Arkansas. So I was like driving 4 hours.
Oh, so you got them out here. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have shots out here, dude. They don't have COVID shots out here. It's
Yeah, because remember we were wondering, and you were like, I guess I'd have to drive an hour.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, like I could have made an appointment in one of the major cities, but I was like, I'm going to be in DFW anyway. Let me just schedule it while I'm here, and they just have them in
on
stock.
the corners.
Yeah,
on street corners. Yeah.
So, yeah, got all my shots knocked out, and I'm very happy about it. Another year protected.
Yeah, I think mine has finally like fully kicked in. Because remember, I said like my allergies go away.
Mm-hmm.
Was not the case.
Oh,
And like now it kind of is. Like it's
okay,
leveled
good.
up because I guess I was sick, so it was like, I'll wait till you're better and then
Yeah, your cough has gone away.
I'll get you fixed up. Yeah, it's like there a little bit, not like too much. But yeah, I'm definitely glad about that. Taylor was getting pissed at me. She's
Yeah.
like, "Do you ever shut up? You just cough." I'm like, "Sorry, it tickles, and I
cough
can't
again. I
stop it.
dare you.
I can't help it." But I mean, dude, it was like I'd be good all day, and it'd be right as it was bedtime, like
Ugh.
right as it's time to lay down. I'm just like, and she's like, "I'm sleeping."
Shut the fuck up! Smack me with the pillow.
Yeah.
Gonna get the suffocation. Yeah, so I'm happy to have my shots done.
Hell yeah.
Go get your shots, folks. COVID
Go
shots
get your shots.
endorsed by YMBToAP. Oh, I got a Moderna shot for the first time ever. I've been Pfizered up the whole time. And like as he was putting it in, he's like, and here's the Moderna. And I was like, no.
You went, no, my streak.
Yeah, like literally combo breaker. The dude, I was like, oh no, it's a Moderna. And he's like, it's fine. They're all good. They're all the same. It's good. And I was
They're
like,
not the same.
I was like, I mean, I know I'm not a crazy person who thinks that it has 5G, but I had all Pfizer's, and now you broke my streak.
Did you do CVS?
I did Walgreens actually, because our insurance doesn't work with
okay.
CVS anymore. So this is my first Walgreens shot, so I think that's why.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say because at CVS they list which one it is, and I remember like there was a store that was close to us one year, and that was the Moderna store, and so I left that store, picked a different location, and it said Pfizer. So I was like, okay, so I can choose.
Yeah.
Good deal. And the one out here is just the Pfizer one. So I was like, good, it's close, and it's the one I want.
As long as it's not Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need, just soap put in there.
Inject me with your baby oil. No, thank you.
Well, since you did that, I think there's one more thing we should definitely be aware of.
Yes.
Because I want to tell you what happened to me.
Please.
And then I got a meme about it.
A meme?
So I don't know if this is a thing right now, but I did recently move.
Uh-huh.
I've changed all that address stuff.
Yeah.
And I've checked my voter registration. And boom, active, new county, everything's good. And I don't check my mail a lot. Not email, like paper mail.
Snail mail, physical mail.
I don't look at that a lot.
Yeah, I never do
so,
unless I'm like, I'm going to be getting a package soon.
Yeah, but I had a little pile, so I do like to look at it and at least, come up with recycled paper,
Sure.
And so I was like, all right, this is getting pretty tall. Let's comb through it. Cutting through it all. And I'd apparently gotten a letter that said, we're sending this to you, me, Robert Walls. And it was like, we're sending this to you, but we aren't sure you really live here. So we're terminating your voter registration until we're sure you live where this piece of paper is.
Fuck right off.
And I was like, but you still sent it here. If you weren't sure, why would you send it there? Why wouldn't you send it to the previous address? How do you know this address then?
I wonder if they also
know what I mean?
Previous address. Like, we lost you. This is your last known location.
Then I feel like it would have been forwarded mail to me.
Yeah, it should have.
But it wasn't forwarded. It was addressed to this location. It has. I'm staring at the paper right now. It has this address on the letterhead.
That's nuts.
So I'm here. Why else would you know this address to tell this person about it?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Maybe if I had moved from this location, but I moved to this location.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense to me. But then I did fix it all, and I'm good now.
Okay, good.
But I was scrolling through Instagram, I think. Because Instagram, I get a lot of comics on there for some reason.
Okay.
Like little meme comics. It'll be like each picture is one panel, and you scroll through and see all the full panels, and then the last one's like what the comic looks like as a whole, which is stupid to me. But I just read the comic. But it was like a person going to bed, and they were all like, okay, good night, brain. And then like they go to sleep, and then the brain goes, you live in Texas. You should check your voter registration. And
is it just in Texas?
I don't know. But the comic was somebody going to bed, and then their brain goes, you live in Texas, check your registration. And then it goes, I already did. Two more panels of them asleep, and then it's them on their phone checking. And I was like, that's very specific. You
It sure
said
is.
you live in Texas, check your registration. Is that comic? Did that person make 50? And the Instagram one knew to give me that one? But like, it's just weird that it seems like it's a joke out there to be a meme. And also, it happened to me and Taylor.
Yeah.
We were both active. I already checked and told her we're good. And then I happened to look at this mail and said, we're not anymore. And I go and it says that we were suspended. And now we're back active. But like, I can't help but think, do they take a demographic look at voters and then go, these people may not go the way we want. Let's cancel them. And then maybe they don't know about it in time, or maybe they don't want to struggle with it. And then we can just count that vote out.
I hate to theorize.
That's what
but
I think.
Hard not to, you know?
We see enough. Okay. I mean, you're going to know basically when I say the next things that I will say. But I mean, we just watched a dude straight up say, if we have to invent stories, we will invent stories. So you can't tell me that it's asinine for me to think they would go, this guy's 35. He's probably on the blue train. I'm sorry. I don't think that's that far-fetched.
I mean, yeah, the state has so much information about you anyway, because like we're constantly under surveillance and we're constantly just feeding information to websites all the time that are then selling it to other entities. So like,
and I fully think they can see your previous votes.
Oh.
And then they can probably be like, that dude does that. Terminate him.
If you're registered with the Democratic Party, then
I am not.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't have insane faith that everything is confidential in ways that they say they are.
It's not, because I mean, like, I'm on, voteblue.org or whatever, and it's collecting cookies, and it's like, oh, you made a donation. Like, we're going to note that in our system. And that system also talks to other systems and stuff.
I ain't done shit like that. Like, I just go vote.
Yeah.
I don't ever get on websites for shit like that. Oh, I did follow Kamala on TikTok.
See, there you go.
That's probably what did it right there.
I think it's safe to say that YMBToAP fully endorses Kamala Harris.
Yeah, dude. Like,
we think you should probably vote blue, vote for Kamala, but
probably should. I mean, I don't know enough about like because there's what the transportation, the train line, people like there's all the different other seats.
Yeah,
I don't know shit about most of those.
I'm voting one way down the ticket.
I usually do as well.
Yeah,
but point is, the big one.
The big
you guys should probably do that.
Let's back Kamala.
Fully.
I saw a TikTok today, or no, it was on Instagram actually. It was a reel. I saw a reel of it was like a POV or your friend's an undecided voter, and it was like, I'm so thirsty. I don't know if I should get water or drink straight from the gasoline hose. What should I do?
God. That's how it feels, man.
Yeah.
And see, so we've talked outside of this. And I said there was an electricity from when Kamala had started.
Yes. You feel an electricity in the air.
Yeah, when like Biden stepped out, because I'll tell you, if it had been those two, that dude wouldn't have won.
Probably not.
Absolutely. There's no way Biden would win again.
Yeah.
It would have never happened. You could feel that.
Yeah.
And
it was
when he dropped and she stepped in, this feels like 2012, man.
There was like a surge, there
was a thing.
It felt like something was happening,
which makes me wonder how shit like that couldn't happen now, because I've seen tons of videos of like they go into a Home Depot and ask crusty old white dudes just walking through a Home Depot, who are you going to vote for? They all say Kamala.
I mean, videos are what you make them. How many crusty white dudes that they have to get through that were like,
To get that.
fuck you, you know.
But I don't know many that have bent on that. So to see any at all makes you wonder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say, I live in red right now, deep red, which
Yeah.
is awful.
And I live, and so what? We were in like a 50-50, right?
Yeah.
We
So
leaned red, but like this place could be blue, but you are in
yes,
the red.
I'm a red. Like
Yeah.
I'm unfortunately going to have to vote in Arkansas, and my vote is probably just going to be a little drippity drop in this county, but it's what it is. But I did go home last weekend, and there was on my street that I grew up on, there were 5 people with lawn signs out. One of them was a Kamala sign.
Okay.
The rest of them were all the other ones.
So I'll tell you this. We were driving the other day, and I mean, I'm in some yee country.
Yeah.
There is a house with Kamala. There are no houses with Trump stuff out,
Good.
which is amazing to me, except for one. But like in 2016, like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing it.
Yeah.
And we do have a guy that opens up a Trump shop every weekend on a street corner, right?
That's so bizarre.
But we were driving, and there is somebody with Kamala stuff, but they are like this big. I mean, I'm talking like actual size. It's small, but it's there. And I went, I wonder if he gets harassed. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because nobody has anything out. And
I
I'm not brave enough to put kind of shit like that out.
No, here
not.
I would never. Like I can't here. My house would be firebombed. But
Yeah.
so when I went home, and I know the person who put up the Kamala sign, I'm good friends with their daughter, and I talked to their daughter, and she was like, yeah, so my mom put out her sign, and then the rest of the street put out their Trump signs in response.
That's funny.
Yeah. So she's like, I inspired the street, but you know, but it's worth noting. I did go visit Denton while I was home, my college town.
Yeah.
And the amount of Kamala signs that I saw, huge. They're everywhere.
That
It
makes
felt
sense
so
out
good.
there, though.
It does. I passed a
does.
lot of like crazy cat lady or like single childless cat women for America or whatever.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I like little kitty cat signs on their lawns,
Yeah.
and I desperately want one of those.
Like, we lived through the 2016 thing.
We sure did.
I just don't see the same level of Trump stuff in yards that I did then.
Yeah.
Is it because they
feels-
don't think they need to? Or are people that undecided that they're like, I don't know if I'm going to do that sign, but I'm not going to say anything yet, you know?
Yeah. I think
Because
that,
like it was a prideful thing at that time.
yeah,
I just
and
don't
there's
see it
still a lot of pride, unfortunately, in that respect. But there's
Yes.
also an amount of people that are now like so far removed from kind of the cult of what happened then that
Yeah.
they're seeing like, oh, I was wrong back then, and they're not putting out signs, whether or not they support him still, you know?
Yeah.
So
I will tell you the one thing that Taylor has told me virtually every day. I don't know if she forgets or if she's still just that amazed by the fact. But did you know that if Kamala wins, she will be the only president that has served in all 3 branches of government?
wow, that's nuts.
She will be the first and only to have been in judicial, legislative, and executive.
That's cool.
That's a pretty solid reason
Yeah.
to me.
I mean, she knows government. She's experienced. She's been around. She's done it. You know, I think it's time, past time.
So yeah, definitely check. You know what? I'm gonna put that in there as well. It's not too hard. I think if you don't know it's probably different in other states if you're listening somewhere else. But for us, it's the VUID, which I don't know what that fucking means.
I have no idea.
The voter or something ID,
something.
you know. But so like you can log in with like a VUID and then your birthday, or like your birthday, last 4 of your social.
Okay.
and then driver's license and maybe social or something. So there's 3 ways to log in if you don't have just like your voter registration card or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you can check. I'll post the Texas link. You know what? There might be Arkansas people. Do you have a site for that too?
I don't fucking know.
I'll check. But I've been on ours for the Texas one a lot. So
Yeah. I should double check for
definitely tag that.
We registered when we got here, but like I want to make sure.
And see, I did when we moved, and then they fucked me over, going
Yeah.
like, "We don't know,"
We're not
and so I got it
sure.
fixed again.
Yeah, I don't want my mail to be
So-
like, having recently moved, like sucks around voting time.
And so I'm not making the mistake of waiting till November.
Yeah, early vote.
Early vote in October, because then you can go to any location
Yes.
and get it in there. Because that's what happened to me in whatever the primary or whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
And I had to go to the old Blockbuster
Yes.
in the colony, and I didn't know that my voter thing was out, but like we had to go to that specific one, and then it turns out that morning they changed our location, but it wasn't updated on the site, so we were in the wrong place still.
That's so fucking stupid. I wish like
That's why you early vote, because it doesn't fucking matter.
imagine if they made voting easy and simple. Imagine if everyone got an absentee ballot and you could just vote by mail. Imagine
Yeah.
what a world we could have.
They should just do an app. Someplace you can log in and just go boop. That'd be even easier.
It would be easier for people that have phones and access to
Well,
the
yeah.
internet, but there's just like it's so hard to vote. Like I get that it's a major thing to organize on a grand countrywide level, like
Yeah.
getting the entire citizenship of one country to vote across 50 states. Like,
In 24 hours.
yes, why do they do it in 24 hours? Give us a week, like
3
do it-
days even. Something.
yeah. There's people that can't get off work to vote and shit. Like there's every single time a vote comes up, I just get so mad on behalf of
Yeah.
people that are roadblocked from voting every step of the way.
But see, they're not though. Technically, we have a month because we have early voting.
We do, yeah.
You literally have a month to go anywhere you feasibly can, and only that one day are you stonewalled to one door that you can
Does-
walk through.
Every state have early voting.
I don't know that actually. I just know Texas has that.
Let me try Google real quick because
And I have early voted every time except for this past time, and that has made me go, I will never skip out on early voting again.
yeah,
Early voting is the fucking shit. It's
Yeah.
great.
it's very great.
Does every
It's
state have
Unclear.
early voting?
Democracy maps. Okay, so yeah, there's 3 states that do not offer early voting. It's New Hampshire, Missouri.
Well,
or
they're small enough.
Mississippi and Alabama. Alabama, Jesus, Alabama.
Okay.
And then
So
there's
then-
states that vote
Yep.
for just 7 days early, and then everybody else is more than 7 days.
But then did you see this? We might be on the same one. Is this NCSL website? Because
No, I'm on
I'm looking at one.
LGBTmap.org.
Oh, okay. Because this one says there's all these EV ones for early voting, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states that are all mail with early voting. So like they don't go to a place; it's all done
Oh.
by mail, and that's all like West
Interesting.
Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado.
Yeah, my friend who lives up in what do you call it? Seattle. She has they will like mail you information on all the candidates with an early
Yeah, you've told
ballot.
me that before. Yeah,
Fucking cool.
that's
And they're
great.
like, here, do your research with this packet we provided you that's like unbiased information on all the candidates, and then turn
Yeah.
in your votes. And you have like weeks to do it. And like that's so amazing.
This thing says Arkansas early voting begins 15 days before the election
Cool. Okay.
at county clerk offices and then other locations determined by the county board.
Yeah, and we live
Like
like
to find you like a website because there's one that's like any of these places.
yeah, I live
or
a quarter
something.
mile from the courthouse, which is I'm gonna vote up there.
Let me check ours real quick. 'Cause this is kind of where we were based. Texas is 17 days before election.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I always went to just like City Hall because it was always like, yeah, just go to City Hall or like the tax office and you're good.
Yeah.
And you literally just walk in and drop that shit and
I'm
move.
here to vote.
It's so easy.
So all that
Yeah.
to say, check your registration, register to vote if you're not registered to vote, and then
Yes.
vote. Vote early if you can. Vote. Just vote. Just vote, 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 vote.
Literally vote. We're not here to be like, do what we want.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
like,
going to proselytize to you. I mean, I will proselytize to you. It doesn't matter if you listen to me, but
it doesn't matter. Use your right to vote.
yes, exercise your right as a citizen of America to get your vote out, get your voice
Yes.
heard. It's important for everyone to do it. And
Absolutely.
it is especially important this year.
Yes. So check out those links in the show notes if you don't know where to get it yourself. And with that, you want to get on out of here? You ready to early vote?
Let's get to the polls.
Let's
Pokemon Go to the polls, everyone.
do it. So if you loved this episode, don't forget to tell a friend. Tell them to go listen to YMBToAP and get out there and vote. You know, they go hand in hand. Word of mouth is the absolute best way we can get the good YMBToAP into fresh new ears. We release every single Monday, every week. That's the guarantee. We never miss it. It's my favorite thing to talk about because it means a lot to me. That's the thing I'm most proud of. I stand by that. Never miss it. Every Monday. If you want to talk to us a bit more, you can catch us over at Instagram or TikTok, any social media really, at YMBToAP, which stands for You Must Be Thinking of Another Podcast. Or if you're in the know, you can go on over to Discord through the Patreon, the low $2 tier. Chat with us in there and talk to us about all the stuff we talked about on today's show. I want to know if you saw The Wild Robot. Did you love it? Did you cry? Were you just like, kids movie, who gives a shit? What do you think about the Notebook LM stuff? Are you scared of it? Is it like Uncanny Valley for your ears? I want to know. Also, let me know if you guys love PT like we do. If you got your shots, and let us know that you don't have to tell us who you're voting for, but just let us know that you're good to vote because we care about you being able to use your right to do your stuff. And again, just thank you to all of our patrons. We love you guys so much. Literally keeping us here to do all this stuff for you. That's why we're doing it. That's why we put in the work, is so that we can just have human moments with you guys. We love you guys so much.
So very much. Our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Mirage. Please check him out on YouTube and give him a listen, give him a like, and then give us a listen and a like and a follow and a subscribe. Smash that bell or whatever. As always, thank you so much for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. The only me is me. Are you sure the only you is you?
Oh, fuck.